Hey guys, I'm Tyler,
And I'm Josh.
and we're the Nurse Bros. We're coming together, new podcast, just trying to, make light of these interesting times we're living in.
It's finally happening. We're here in the studio down in sunny Florida.
We've been talking about it for a while, and now's probably the best time to do this.
Tyler, you look so handsome here in the studio. I can see the video. Our listeners can't. But you're glistening. You got your hair slicked back.
Well, we don't have quite the money that Joe Rogan has, so I don't know if we can get an actual studio going. But who knows? We'll see how this goes.
They don't need to know that.
Well, we're trying to keep this, we're trying to keep it light, talk about pretty much anything. Nothing's off limits at all. And feel free on our Facebook page, and I mean, if anyone sees us at work or wherever, just let us know if you guys have any ideas for shows. And
Suggestions, topics. There's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Especially now, I mean, local, statewide, federal, whatever, anything. So we're definitely not short for things we can talk about, and everyone that knows us knows we're very opinionated and sometimes take heat for it, but whatever. Better to speak out than not.
It's just to have a discussion on things. I mean, nothing's ever nothing is really one-sided in life, and that's why you have to have a discussion about it. The more you can talk about it, the more you can learn and gain from that, and that's kind of the goal.
Whether people agree with us or not, it's just to have healthy discussion too.
Right, not heated, which has been the case of many things in the current life climate. You mentioned work, Tyler. What kind of work do we do?
We'll try to keep this separate from place of employment, but we're both registered nurses, so that's where we came up with the idea of Nurse Bros. It's simple.
I couldn't
funny.
tell by the name what we did, but it makes sense. We're registered nurses. I've been a nurse for almost 4 years, heading in that direction.
Yeah, I'm about a year and a half for me now.
And we work in Treasure Coast of Florida. So
I definitely did not plan to be working during a global pandemic during one year in, and some people have been a nurse their whole life and have never worked in anything quite like this. So it's
been interesting times, which is enough to discuss in its own topic. So we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about, but we're not just medical. We're going to talk about, like Tyler said, a variety of subjects.
I have quite a few friends in the area that are kind of doing their own thing, whether it be small business, little podcasts of their own, videos on YouTube channels, and merchandise they're selling around the Treasure Coast. So I've reached out with them, just saying, hey, would you like to come on? Are you interested? Just talking, see if they could kind of promote themselves, just to see if they can get a boost. But and they were all into it and willing to do it. So I look forward as we go and have guests on and everything.
Yeah,
We're
these little creators. I mean, it's nice to have like a rallying central podcast or table. We can have various people on, discuss whatever their passion may be. That's where you can really learn a lot, is probing the minds of these talented individuals that we may know or things like that. So, definitely some room to grow in.
Yeah, we're doing this all remotely. So, our guests will be remote, trying to keep safety priority right now, not put anyone in harm's way.
As of now, we're becoming a little bit of a hot spot. Maybe more than a little bit, but that's Florida, wacky Florida. We're both Florida man. Hopefully, we don't make any national headlines.
Yeah, born and raised in the Treasure Coast, and not surprising at all that we would surpass New York in caseload and all the other stuff that's been going on. But again, not surprised. So here we are, making the most of it.
I want the freaking Florida Zombie to make a comeback. It feels fitting right now.
Well, in 2020, I mean, bubonic plague made a comeback, and now there was a squirrel in Colorado, I think, had it. So, in this year, I don't know. Anything could happen.
Yeah. What was that guy on? Flocka?
The guy down south?
Yeah.
I
the
think
Florida
so.
Zombie.
I know there was him, and then the bath salts people. The bath salts were
Yeah,
pretty.
that's probably what it was.
I know. In Martin County, there's a guy who ate ate the family's faces off.
It's probably effective treatment. We should start dispersing bath salts.
It was treatment for corona instead of hydroxychloroquine. One will probably be just effective as the other.
Yeah, that's very true. So, we have enough locally in this state to talk about news-wise to keep us busy for quite a while. So, like Tyler was saying, we're open to suggestions. We have any topic you guys want to discuss, we can always bring it on the show. Looking to keep it, 30 minutes in length, at least for now. Just short enough, whet your appetite, but not long enough to put you to sleep.
Yeah, we understand the daily grind, and some of these podcasts that go on for 3, 4, 5 hours, I even if I like the people, I don't think I could stay in tune with it for quite that long. So we're trying to, just give you something fun to listen to and not bore you. And another thing I want to mention too, I'm going to try throughout this thing to, promote some local business as well, and just places you guys could check out, and even places to eat, businesses to go, and there's a lot of interesting things. Again, I saw something on Facebook today with the whole school thing, and this was in our local Facebook breaking news group. A lady from, I believe, Chicago is moving down here, and she's a retired teacher, and she was posting about if parents would be interested, they don't want to send their kids to school. She would take on like 4 or 5 kids, grades 1 through 4, which is what she taught. And she would do basically homeschooling for them or follow their curriculum in whatever school they are. And she would help out with them. And I was like, that's a very nice, offer and gesture. And a lot of people might actually be interested in something like that because... Going forward, I know that's another hot topic is the kids in school thing and, spreading this virus to these, older teachers and even younger people too. So things like that I think are interesting to mention.
Yeah, it's nice to have a platform off which people like that can gain growth from. So there's a lot of passions and things that we want to bring on this show. What made you want to make a podcast, Tyler? What drove you to Nurse Bros?
Well, like I said, if anyone knows me, they know I'm very outspoken, tend to be very political, and I know sometimes I take heat for that, but what people don't realize is, everything is political, even down to where we get our water. So if you're not engaged politically, you're only doing a disservice to yourself. So with all the things going on, I feel like, just to kind of spread my voice, and again, not to sway anyone, whatever. I mean, the
goal is to be open.
Yeah, and have positive
discussion.
Positive discussion, and maybe just find some common ground on things, because whatever side you're on or anything, I mean, usually 9 times out of 10 there are things we all agree on. So it's about finding that instead of just always fighting with people. And social media is just been awful. It's accelerated this, and I mean, you see people who are just on Facebook and their job in life is to sit there and just troll people and try to piss people off, and I don't see, what's happening on Facebook and Twitter and stuff is not real life. That's not the general consensus of how people are feeling. So it's I feel more so social media hypes up things that are going on as opposed to necessarily the media who, just trying to give you the facts and give you what's going on, and then social media becomes this hyper-partisan outlet on either side. So I just wanted to,
It's definitely become a very charged atmosphere, probably as a result of social media, which is a topic on its own episode. Honestly, we could go on for hours about that. But
and yeah, we'll see as we get down the road. But
one thing I've noticed is many people, you can't have a discussion with someone with opposite belief. It's not for everyone, but a lot of people can't have a discussion with someone with opposing views because there's such a climate of hostility, which it's not. You can't grow from that if you just exist on one side and you block out all other viewpoints. You never get a chance to grow. So, that's what we want to explore a little bit more too on this, is try and learn other sides and keep an open discussion.
What was your thought process, or why did you want to get on here with me and do this thing?
I mean, that's essentially it. It's I've never been one to. I have my own views, and those are my own views, and I never impose them on anyone else. But I want to learn why people think the way they do, because on certain things, I try and boil it down to like, okay, why do they think this way, and what led them to that decision. Certain topics I can't see another argument on. For example, masks. There's that shouldn't even be a divisive debate, but it is.
We'll touch on that in the future to come too. So.
Right. But so that's what drove me to this podcast as well. I've never been much of a vocal, talkative person, but this is also kind of exploring things that might be on the outer rim of my comfort zone. So,
and in order to learn, it's always good to get out of your comfort zone too. So, one thing I want to mention too is about differing viewpoints and just talking to everybody is at work is a perfect like microcosm of a community. 1,000 different employees, 1,000 people that all think differently. And I thoroughly enjoy talking to everyone that I work with. I mean, from every department. And I think that's, at work you don't get to talk to even 100 people a day. So it's cool, if people listen from work, and it's kind of like reaching out to them and just speaking with them. And, again, just trying to, again, find common ground and stuff. But I think a hospital is a perfect example of the world too. It's its own little community with different viewpoints, but people who have to work together to save people's lives. And if we would look at that as a global thing, we probably could get past this pandemic a lot faster. But unfortunately, there's a bad case in this country of individualism, which is something I hope we can break at some point. But again, this is like our hopefully little way of just spreading facts, news locally everywhere, and trying to make a positive impact any way we can.
Yeah, exactly. That's our goal. It's not to be a scathing, abusive, divisive podcast. Just spread positivity and spread honest discussion. This is episode 0. It's pilot. We're just introducing ourselves, throwing out our name, our podcast, what we do. So
we'll probably leave you guys with that. Like Josh said, this is just an intro to us. We're gonna get started soon on the official episode 1, which will definitely be a interesting one, to say the least. We're really going right out of the gate with a hot topic issue.
The studio's costing us $1,000 an hour, so we gotta crank these episodes out.
I know, it's like I'm paying the second rent. So if you guys are interested, I mean, you can find us on YouTube at The Nurse Bros, and Facebook, facebook.com/The Nurse Bros. Where once we post these on those outlets, we're also trying to get set up on Spotify as well as
a distribution.
Yeah, as well as Google and Apple as well. So, but we'll fill you in on that as we go along. So, I think that's about it for now, and we'll see you guys on episode 1. You have anything else you want to throw out there? Or?
No, thank you for listening. And again, we'll see you on the next episode.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one, and we'll talk with you soon. All right.
Bye.